There's a whole array of choices out there when it comes to smartwatches, and recently I had a chance to try one of the newest. I'm Erin from techgadgetscanada.com, and this is the Samgung Gear S3. There's two versions of the Gear S3. There's the Frontier and the Classic, and I have the Classic here. So as you can see, it's pretty big, it's a little bit on the heavy side, and the watch itself is, I guess it's about as thick as my pinky finger, so it is big. I'm gonna say this is not a watch for ladies. It's definitely a men's watch. I like a big watch on my wrist, but even so, this is a lot bigger than I would be comfortable with. With that said, I was able to wear it fine. It felt okay for the duration of my testing, but it is something to consider. If you're looking for something that's a little more delicate or feminine, this might not be the right choice for you.
A couple of the new features: turning the bezel on the watch acts as a cursor or a selector knob. It lets you scroll through pages and tabs and applications without having to fuss with tiny buttons. The battery life on this watch is much better than others like Apple. It can go about 4 days on a single charge. There's also customizable watch faces. There's a large free selection and you can change it as often as you want. That's kind of fun as well.
The Gear S3 is water and dust resistant. It's got an IP rating of IP68, which basically means you can submerge it in about 1.5 meters of water for about 30 minutes without doing too much damage. Normally I would do a dunk test or otherwise prove that to you guys, but this is a loaner watch and it's got a really nice leather band on it that I'm concerned about wrecking. It's not mine, so I'm not going to do that. We're going to take Samsung's word for it on this one. Samsung's got its own S Health app, and using the watch it'll collect data, things like sleep patterns, how many steps you walk, and how many calories you might have burned. Another really cool feature of the Gear S3 is its ability to make and receive phone calls. There's actually a little speaker built in here allowing you to make or receive a telephone call, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, during my testing period, I didn't have access to a Samsung phone that had a SIM card in it, so I couldn't test that feature out, and it's not a feature, unfortunately, that works with Apple devices.
With that said, the watch does work with both Android and Apple phones. I used it mostly with my iPhone 6 Plus and it worked okay. I got notifications for nearly everything I normally see on my phone, even if I couldn't respond.
There's a lot of things I liked about the Gear S3. For starters, I really liked that rotating bezel. I found it really easy to navigate around the watch using that. I like the display. I think it's bright, it's clear, it's really easy to see, and it was fairly responsive whenever I was holding my wrist up to get a look at the clock or an alert. The battery life is absolutely outstanding. You're going to get a couple of days on a single charge, so it's going to last. You're not going to have to charge it up each night, which is a huge plus. And I really like the fact that you can control the alerts you get on the watch. You can customize the face as well, so it's really going to be a watch that's great for you and gives you exactly what you need. On the downside, this is not a watch I'm going to recommend for ladies. It's just a bit too big, a bit too bulky, a bit too masculine even for me, and I kind of like that style of watch. I think if they come out with a smaller version or a thinner version, I'm going to be the first in line for that one. The price of this watch is about $469 Canadian or $349 if you're in the US. If you want to read more about it, you can go online to techgadgetscanada.com. I've got a full review there with a lot more detail than I can provide in a short video review. If you like this video, I do hope you'll hit that like button and consider subscribing. It does help me keep making more videos that I hope you guys can all watch and enjoy. I'm Erin. Thanks for watching. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram. Until the next time, @ErinLYYC.